So we're at Friend's house. It's the home of, or the administrative centre, shall we say, of Quakers in the UK. We're at an event called Food. There's a story behind everything we eat. And I'm speaking here with Philip Lymbery, who's the Chief Executive of Compassion in World Farming. Philip, what would you have to say to an event like this?
Well, I'm here to tell the story behind cheap meat. And that is why I've come here with my book, Farmageddon, which exposes the fact that cheap meat from industrial agriculture causes profound harm to our countryside, to the health of our food, and to the welfare of animals. That's why I'm urging that people get involved and help bring about a food and farming revolution for decent food for everyone forever.
And that sounds, it's difficult to see anyone objecting to that, but what would be the practicalities of doing what you're suggesting? I mean, cheap meat, people want to go and buy cheap meat. What's going on with that behind that?
What few people realise is that it may look cheap at the checkout, but we're paying 3 times for our food. Once at that checkout, the second time through our subsidies to pay for industrial farming in the main, and the third through the clean-up cost for our health and for the countryside, which is considerable. So what we're saying is, let's have a different approach to food, where we value food and the nutritional quality of it, how it's produced, and the services that it brings to society, and have a culture that's founded on decent food for everyone forever, rather than the current profit-led food, where food, sadly, is becoming poorer and poorer in nutritional quality.
And tell us a little bit about Farmageddon, just what produced that, and what are you arguing in Farmageddon?
To write Farmageddon, I went round the world with a journalist, Isabel Oakeshott, the political editor of the Sunday Times at the time, and we really lifted the lid on what's going on in the chemical fields of California, the way that the seas are being plundered off of Peru, and La Pampas and the rainforests in South America, how they're being raised and plundered, essentially to grow feed, to rear farm animals in factory farms in Europe and in China. Terrible environmental consequences to produce cheap and nasty food, when actually here in Britain we have so much ubiquitous pasture that we could be the leaders in decent, highly nutritious, high welfare, countryside friendly food. That's the story behind Farmageddon. It's a story of hope. It's a story of how Britain should take control of its own food destiny.
Okay, so if I am a consumer, this is my last question, if I'm a consumer in the UK, what would you tell me to do then?
We can all get involved, look out for pasture-fed food, organic, free-range, stuff that's come from animals that have been kept on a farm rather than in a factory. It's not only going to be good for the countryside and for the animals, but it's tastier too.
Okay, thanks very much. So that's Philip Lymbery. He's with Compassion in World Farming. You can find out more about him and his organisation at ciwf.org. I'm Patrick Chalmers, reporting for Quakers and Business.